Hey everybody, Jeff Miller here, head of GRE Instruction at Target Test Prep. Today's video, let's discuss top ways as why you're scoring lower on your GRE exam than you are on your GRE practice exams. Let's get going. Issue number one, maybe you're not taking your practice test under realistic testing conditions or following test day rules. What happens if you're taking breaks in the middle of your GRE, trying to pause things, stretching, walking around, looking at your phone even? That's not test day conditions. Or let's say you're using a handheld calculator, something you can't do on the day of your test. What happens? Your score gets inflated. If your score gets inflated, what happens? You're going to go in, you're going to take your real GRE thinking you're super prepared to hit your test, your goal score, and only to realize you don't hit it because, man, those test day conditions are tough. Or heck, maybe you take it online and you're at home, but still the way you were taking your practice exams does not replicate the types of things you're doing when you're taking it online. So what does all this mean? It means just take your practice exams under realistic test day conditions, following the rules, and that way how you do on the practice test should translate to how you do on the actual GRE. Issue number two, you didn't take all your actual GRE practice exams. Now there's 5 official exams that are offered, and we recommend taking all of them. You may take one at the beginning of your prep to get a baseline score. Then there's 4 left. Don't take 2 of them. Don't take 3 of them. Take all 4. Why? Because you've got to put yourself in the headspace of what it feels like to actually go in and take this GRE. If you only take a couple, you're not going to be able to get your feet wet enough to know the feeling of test day. So you might go in, might feel a little unprepared of how it actually functions and works, and get a lower score. So the deal is, take all the practice exams, and that's going to help you get the score that you should on test day. Issue number 3, and this is huge because students don't consider this. Let's say the materials you're using were created that were revolving around the official practice test. But what happens then? You crush those materials, you go in, you take the official practice exams, and they're a piece of cake. Why? Because everything you did in your prep up to that point wasn't to prepare you for the real GRE. It was to prepare you for those practice exams. Then you go into the real GRE and you say, oh wow, there's a lot more that can be tested on this thing than I previously thought, and your score goes down. So what does that mean? It means get materials that are going to test you or teach you and prepare you for the real GRE, not just the official practice exams that have been published that everyone's been able to look at. And again, if that happens and you actually get thorough prep materials and study the right way, you should be good on test day. Issue number 4, doing things you weren't doing in your practice exams. Let's say in your practice exams, you were super disciplined about the calculator. You only used it when you needed it to. You didn't do it for very basic, simple math, so you weren't overusing it and possibly creating mistakes or wasting time. Then you get to the test and you're super nervous and you say, every calculation has to be perfect. I don't trust myself writing down these calculations. So boom, you jump into the calculator and all of a sudden, you're just wasting a lot of time because you're doing things that you weren't doing in your practice exams, which maybe you were successful in. Well, that's going to lower your score. Or not trusting the formulas and equations you know, and always double checking your work. You can't go to bad habits, slow habits, things that maybe you did early on in your prep just because it's the real deal and maybe you're a little bit nervous. You got to stick to your discipline. You got to stick to what you know. You have to trust yourself. And if you can do that, your success on your practice exams should translate to test day. Issue number 5, we kind of just talked about this, but this is an important one. Not allowing yourself to be cool going into the test, meaning nerves are getting the best of you. Look, the GRE, I understand the stakes involved. I understand how hard you've been working and how hard you've been working up until test day. Get it all. But the problem is, if you go in there tight, if you go in there nervous, even if you are crushing your practice test, things won't go well for you on test day because one minor thing is going to go wrong. You're going to freak out. You're not going to think you can get your score, and then it's going to be just tumbling downhill. So what do you got to do? Get those anxiety out of here. Put the nerves at bay. Feel confident. Understand that you put in all this work, and that hard work's going to pay off. So you can't go in there like a ball of nerves because I'm telling you, again, even if you did well in your practice exams, that won't translate well to test day. My final tip, don't burn yourself out before test day. That is something that is killer. I see students trying to go pedal to the metal. I got to get a practice test in 48 hours before my GRE. I got to be cramming the day before. I've got to be learning all the content I can. Oh, I can't have any weak areas. they literally just spiral. So what do? 36 hours about before your test, you start to calm the studying down. You dial it down. Yeah, you can look over notes. You can look over flashcards. Even do a couple practice problems in your free time, but don't overdo it. Don't do stuff that's going to keep your mind on test day leading up to the moment that you go into the test center or begin your online exam. You can't feel burned out when you get there. You need to feel fresh. You need to feel cool. You need to feel calm, and you need to feel collected. So burning yourself out prior to test day is going to eliminate all of those things from happening. So again, do not do too much leading into test day. If you can do that, how you've been doing on your practice test should translate to how you do on the real GRE. All right, that's a wrap for today's video. It was great to talk to you about some reasons why your practice test scores may not be translating to test day. Follow the advice in this video, and heck, follow the advice in all of our videos. We have tons of great ones. If you want to see more specific ones, leave comments for us. Also, subscribe to our channel. And until next time, happy studying, everybody.